action going on. They got the Bane. That doesn't matter that much. Entity, that was Fishman Bane on the Bane, which is one of his best guys.
Yeah, you guys didn't miss anything. It's all good.
Just a sport.
We'll be back in the game
Here we
shortly.
go.
There we go.
There we go. Back in the game, boys. Hell yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's get some Dota action going, huh?
Oh, that's good. Some good Dota action.
Dota action in the morning, Toby.
It's not morning.
In the afternoon, after eating some French toast. American breakfast
That's right. That's right.
All right, so 1-0 start for Team Spirit here.
Yeah.
And, okay, looking at the lineups, you know the question. Just give me the answer. Give me a confident answer. I don't want this.
You know what? I'm feeling Entity. Okay. I think they got some weird stuff. And I don't know if Team Spirit knows how to deal with this. I think it's a little too weird. You Timber safe lane. What? You know?
Get nothing.
And I do actually think Entity has late game scaling, even with the weird stuff that they've got. If they can make it through the lanes. Like they pick this Lycan and they put it into Ursa. That's still not a good lane for Lycan. It's a good game for Lycan. Don't get me wrong, he's happy, but terrible lane.
Great to know.
Yep. You're all weak.
So Saberlight playing his heroes, but in the safe lane. And we can see a cookie come out from Mira, but Fishman is going to be perfectly okay because it is a tier 2 body, remember, so not that big of a disadvantage against the tier 1 body of Snapfire.
Yeah.
Saberlight against 2 strength heroes. You talked about Timber in general in this scenario, but it's against a lot of magic damage. Oh my goodness, that is quite a bit though. Has to be careful. Oh, Fishman's gonna get caught out though. Scatterblast with the cookie setup. Saberlight just trying to finish off Mira, and he does so with the Whirling Death. It's gonna be a trade though for support, so Fishman and Mira will have to go back to base for the time being.
Yeah, Spirit got that level 2 timing, and so they abused that. They got 4 spells versus the 2 spells on Entity. However, I do feel like, you know, you get the first blood. Actually, no, we did. The first blood was on Bane way before, which we did not.
That's right. That's Fishman's second death of the game.
He's died twice, but this is a Timber safe lane. Once this guy gets level 3, he's totally free farm, doesn't need any help whatsoever, as Toby is struggling up here.
He sure is. He's going to get some support from Kataomi, but I do believe that he will drop to one last right click.
Yeah.
Yatoro, he finds it, but it's going to be the trade. Maybe not the best for Yatoro, but Saberlight, okay, he's pretty deep under that tier 1 tower for himself as Spirit are just kind of diving him. So that's a very valuable kill for Team Spirit in this bottom lane.
That is not the lane we're, of course, supposed to die in. They flex this Timber to beat the Beastmaster. I think that's like, that point is the one point where they can actually kill Saberlight, where he's level 2 and he was low HP. And I guess he didn't drop a salve for Fishman to bring, or it got canceled or something. Top lane, this is different. This is definitely not a Lycan favored lane by any means. Although, if Yatoro was a little bit off with that dive that he did earlier, that could have been disastrous. It was very close to Toby getting that kill first, which would have been very good for Entity.
Yeah, Yatoro, looks like his build on Ursa is a Battle Fury in his future. This is always the question of whether this is the right item choice for the game. What's the answer? I mean, Diffusal Blade is quicker. You can get online. You can start fighting really fast. Battle Fury, very slow build up, but almost like a Midas where over time it will pay off.
Yeah, what this says to me is that Spirit thinks that Ursa is stronger in this game with like 3 or 4 items as opposed to with like 2, with Diffusal Blink. They need like the 2 extra items on top of that, and that's what when they think that they can win. Because otherwise, I mean, this is generally more the build these days, but I think that is because in this meta, Ursa with like 3 or 4 items is stronger than Ursa with 2 items, like relative to how the game is going, right?
And Saberlight just getting pushed and harassed out of this lane. 7 Wild Axes stacks on top of him as Fishman gets off a Nightmare into Mira, but no worse for wear for Team Spirit in this off lane. They're doing pretty damn well. 23-2 for the CS for Collapse. You can see Saberlight as a safe lane Timber, 11-1, and a death on top of that. So
And
rough
Entity's
start.
getting destroyed down here.
Yeah, we're gonna have another setup
another
here.
kill.
Cookie into Axes, and that's the third death for Fishman. They're gonna have to rethink these lanes. Perhaps, I mean, do they have the option of trying to switch things up a bit, or is it too late? Because now you've kind of fed this.
I don't think
this
so.
combo.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I guess. I mean, I think it's on Stormstormer to rotate and get some kill. I think that's really the only like area of strength where they can use to like get something out of this game. Because any of these supports rotating to any of these lanes just feels like even more.
Oh, they might be able to get another kill here. Wild Axe is just continuing to stack. Cookie set up with the creep. He's gonna pop the wand, but here comes the Scatter Blast. Another right click should do it. Nope, the reactive armor, and finally another Axes from Collapse. And this lane is an absolute unmitigated disaster from Entity. Just couldn't ask for a worse start.
And that's the flex lane. Like they made this draft weird to get that lane.
Yeah.
It is not working out how they anticipated with this Timber versus Beastmaster matchup. I think even with Axes, Timber usually will beat a Beastmaster. It's just that those first few kills have led to Collapse having these extra items. Like, right, he's got the Helm, and so the Whirling Death Harass is not doing anything. He's got the Basilius, so he's got full mana to work with. They've got regen because they're getting a bunch of kills.
And we're going to see an Arena from Toronto Tokyo in the mid lane. He catches out Stormstormer. He's getting off the Avalanche onto the support here. Mira pops a Fairy Fire. Looks like he's going to live, but nope, the Thunderbolt at the last moment from Kataomi. Had the Heavenly Jump just to get that distance. So, feels like a lot of work for a support kill.
I do like this from Entity, though, that the supports are going to Stormstormer on mid, because I feel like the other two cores are now weak, and you'd just rather, if they're getting zoned from getting CS anyway, right? So wouldn't you rather that they just get more XP, and then maybe with Stormstormer strength, that's where the kills can start happening? If the rotation to mid happens and then Stormstormer dies, I think this game is a complete disaster for Entity, and there's almost no comeback. But that was like the one move that they needed to make.
So Toronto Tokyo not able to set up the Arena kill this time, but obviously a very low cooldown in general. Saberlight is allowed to catch up a bit now, though. Is getting close to this level 6. This wave should do it for him. As the axes continue to come from Collapse, who is now level 6, so could end up roaring Saberlight, but Saberlight feels like maybe he's fine now, honestly.
He's good now. Yeah, he's good. I think this was the putting, like, having the supports just leave was definitely the right move from Entity. Just get some levels.
I must have them all.
Here it goes down.
Yeah, looks
Stormstormer?
like it.
Okay, so yeah, Stormstormer's going to now do the rotating. He's strong, and Fishman is going to go recover mid. It's just recovery for the side lanes.
And Toronto Tokyo getting slowed thanks to the Heavenly Jump. But
Oh,
he
the
actually
wolf
tries
walk.
to go for the Arena.
The wolf made the difference?
That was like a 10-unit difference there.
That was crazy. That was such a slight difference, but it actually, it worked. Cool.
That's the second Arena now with nothing to really show for it from Yotaro, or from Toronto Tokyo. But Yotaro still farming quite well, second in net worth, only behind his beastly Beastmaster in that off lane, the Domination. We'll see how much he's able to snowball from Collapse. He's in the jungle right now, so Saberlight kind of pushing him out for the time being. Of course, he doesn't really push the fastest on Timbersaw. A lot of that has to come. What is this?
I don't know what's going on.
Helm of the Dom Centaur just delaying things.
I think he's just holding the wave there, so that way he can come back to it and axe it down. I think he was taking a stack. That's actually worth the 100 gold, giving that away. Mira might get 6 off the wave.
Yep, Scatter Blast into the cookie.
Nice.
Saberlight seems perfectly okay for now. Yeah, if Mira had the Mortimer's Kisses, then perhaps, as we're going to see. Toby pop into that ult form. Centaur Stomp onto Miposhka. And he's going to be eaten up here in just a moment. Although pops the Arctic Burn into the trees. Do they have the vision to find him? He might be okay. Okay, Lightning Bolt into the Arc Lightning. So, Kataomi, thankfully, is playing Zeus.
Yeah,
if you're an Entity fan.
Maxing out the Lightning Bolt too, so he's got the extra range on it. As Toronto Tokyo, he's trying to make a move that connects. He wants to hit that Arena. And Saberlight, he sniffs it out. They're going to try to trade for
You've been
mid.
using that term a lot lately.
Yeah, there's a lot of sniffing going on when I'm around you. tell you what.
That's true.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Toby, he's got a helm of his own.
Radiant's bottom tower
We're using that to full effect to take out this tier 1 tower. So Entity, despite that absolutely god-awful start in the bot lane, we're seeing Toronto Tokyo, the Mars Arena with the Mortimer's Kisses. Saberlight is just dead. Pretty easy kill overall as Collapse still has the Roar to work with. Trying to focus on Stormstormer. Lockdown thanks to the cookie now. They have the Rebuke into the Spear, and this looks to be another kill for Toronto Tokyo. And both on cores. Very nicely done from Team Spirit.
Yeah, punishing the kind of greedy move there from Entity, trying to trade the bot tower for both the mid and the top tower at the same time. With how the lanes went, you know, Saberlight is not that strong.
Radiant's middle tower
Doesn't even have his full hood completed yet. And maybe if he has a hood at that point, like let's say the lanes don't go so badly and he has a hood, I'm not sure if that Mortimer's Kisses will kill him, and he might survive there. And that actually is a good move. But, you know, that's Dota. Things snowball like that.
And tier 1 taken out mid, and a little bit of a late of a TP there from Stormstormer, but we'll see what he's actually going for. Is he going for a quick blink on the Tiny, or is it going to be the Echo Saber build-up? Looks like it will be the blink first. So halfway there. And this guy, like you said, has been performing at a really high level, but now they find themselves kind of on the back foot with a 3K deficit against Team Spirit. And a lot of that has to do with that bot lane with Collapse just dominating.
Yeah, side lanes did not go particularly well for Entity, so that always puts a lot of pressure on the mid to do work. And I think that's probably a decent reason he's going for the blink. He needs to do stuff this game, as he's kind of bullying here in the jungle.
Just trying to disrupt this farm here from Collapse. He doesn't seem to mind it too much. Try to axe from the low ground. Of course, Battle Fury is still being worked on for Yatoro. Has the Perseverance, so also halfway there. I mean, he didn't go for the greedy straight Battle Fury like you get 12, 13 minutes. This is the Treads, Wraith Band.
Yep.
All of the essentials that come with it.
Stat items.
Arena, Rebuke setup, and the Mortimer's Kiss is a great combo that we talked about as he used time and time again. And that's another death for Saberlight. How many is that for him? That's 4.
He's at 1 and 4. Yeah. Yep, that is precisely why I don't think this is like as much of a gotcha Timber pick as some of the other picks that we've been seeing against these strength lineups. It's just so much magic damage on the side of Team Spirit. And the reason that Yatoro went for this stat build instead of just Rush Battle Fury is because you kind of casually show up to stuff like that and get a kill.
Yep, no doubt. Alright, I'm just curious why Snapfire isn't picked all the time. I know that the Mars Arena is like a great setup, but it feels like there's a lot of great setups for a hero like this.
I
just offers everything.
I agree with you. I think that that's absolutely true, and the reason she wasn't picked up prior was BKB.
And maybe because Marcy's in the game.
Maybe because, yeah, you're choosing between Marcy, Dawn, and every other support. But no, I think the BKB nerfs make Snapfire incredibly good.
Toronto Tokyo. Fishman has the Horsey into the Nightmare. We can see multiple TPs coming in from Team Spirit. Got to Omi, okay. They're going to get the grip off, but the cookie's going to cancel it. Toronto Tokyo looks to be A-okay for now. The ult coming out from the Wyvern, holding Toby in place just briefly. Just trying to mitigate this, and they do so successfully. I mean, it did require a few TPs, but the Bane is dead. And nobody dies on the side of Team Spirit.
Yeah, that was one of those weird scenarios where it's like, you take this fight by the outpost, so you think that the TPs coming in would take so long that you get the kill.
Yep, Avatos, not enough, because that is a tier 1 body, as we've said. And another missed arena from Toronto Tokyo. Kataomi just a little bit too quick on the Zeus.
It's actually pretty hard to catch Zeus, and I can't believe I'm saying like those words are coming out of my mouth.
Muscle Memory says otherwise. Toronto Tokyo might be finding Saberlight. This is with a Smoke Gang and the Roar setting up additional lockdown. Nice Nightmare to try to mitigate a little bit of damage, but the Centaur Stomp is there. Saberlight could do absolutely nothing as he takes every single kisses. Looks like the Wyvern will be the trade for now, but they're going to get the Bane as well. So Team Spirit just executing at a very high level with their combos. Stormstormer really wants to get this Snapfire. He gets the Avatars, TPing out, but nope. Centaur Stomp is there, and this will not be worth it for him as another core goes down in trade for just a support.
Spirit's using the spear so well. I feel like it's weird to say that because it's not Collapse that I'm talking about. It's Toronto Tokyo, who's bronze tier at Mars.
I mean, he doesn't have Dota Plus, then,
yeah,
sure.
I don't, maybe.
Radiant's
Who knows?
courier has been
I
killed.
think he probably does. I'm pretty sure he's like master tier at certain. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He is setting everything up, spearing into Collapse multiple times, whether it's into the Roar because he sees that his beast is making the rotation, or into the Centaur, and it's set up the last 3 kills that we just saw there. It's been super nice.
And the triangle we go for Team Spirit. They've got their disgusting ancient ice shaman.
Good lord.
There's the ugliest creature on the face of the earth. Probably uglier than the dragon, in fact. As you can see, Roshan's ass right there. Very beautiful. Oh, gonna have the arena. Toronto Tokyo finds 2, but he's gonna get slept pretty much right off the bat. Gets a big rebuke onto Stormstormer and Fishman. The Nightmare comes out though. Stormstormer's walking away just a sliver of HP. Toronto Tokyo pops the wand, staying safe. But you can see the Aegis has already been taken by Yatora, who's just soloing it the whole time. They've already lost 2 on the side of Team Spirit, but it's a trade for, again, Saberlight and Fishman. So, I mean, obviously Team Spirit would have won that fight pretty handily if Yatora was there, but prioritizing the Aegis.
Definitely.
But still, I would say that's kind of an even trade almost.
You think so?
Well, I guess Saberlight is so underfarmed that I guess it's in favor of Entity.
I don't know.
But then you got the Aegis on the other side.
Yeah, I think the Aegis makes it not even. Like, Spirit was trying to distract on the high ground while they were taking the Aegis because their Ursa does not have lifesteal. He's got the neutral item for it, but that's quite pathetic in terms of lifesteal.
Yeah, I think in gold, that was a 400 net worth gain for Entity. But yeah, how much is the Aegis worth? That's really the question.
The Aegis, the XP as well,
yeah.
from Roshan. And the fact that Saberlight is just not a carry. He's mowed off lane, but I mean, I guess Toby's going to be the true carry this game. I just feel like Stormstormer and Saberlight are kind of on the same level of their game is not that great, and his game is okay, but there's no like real like snowballing carry right now for Entity, which is very worrisome because both Collapse and Yatoro are not going to stop accelerating in terms of their network. Beastmaster with his axe build, you farm quickly, especially when you have the Dom too, because you have a creep to farm the lane while you're axing the jungle. It's like you're farming so much at once.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen Beastmaster be top of network on this patch? I feel like this is not an uncommon thing.
He's good. And it's funny because I think Lycan tries to do similar things, but the Beastmaster just seems easier
It doesn't,
to
yeah.
actually execute.
He
They're
doesn't
just going to
have
try to
access.
go high ground now with this Aegis. Yatoro has the Yasha Battle Fury. Toronto Tokyo going in deep. This time he finally does find Zeus. So Kataomi is dead. Mortimer's Kiss is kind of missing the mark here, but if they can get a melee rack, they're going to be more than happy with this. As Team Spirit, you can see the Entity kind of just a little bit scared to try to initiate to take this fight, so it will be a free melee racks. And the question remains from Entity's side, what are they waiting for? What is the item that they are waiting for that they think will make the big difference? Is it some sort of, I'm assuming some BKB on somebody? Maybe not.
Toby is
Okay,
closing on
Echo
an
Saber just finished on Tiny.
AC. Yeah, I don't know if the Echo Saber is that impactful. Nothing. There's nothing that's really got that much impact. Bane is, I mean, he's honestly the Bane Ether Lens, like dead serious. That's probably the biggest timing that they have. I hate to say it. I just don't think like an Echo Saber on Tiny in a game like this is that much of a game changer. Like you mentioned, you look for a BKB timing when the game is going this bad because you can't just have one of these slight increases in your power. You need a big jump in order to fight.
If you look at their line, they don't really have, it sounds weird to say, the best BKB carriers maybe, as we have a Nightmare into the grip. See, Yataro's going to be perfectly fine. A Winter's Curse onto
curse.
2. It's actually going to prevent a little bit of damage coming out, but a big nuke from Miposhka. And that is going to be a dead Stormstormer to start this fight. Yatoro looking for more. He's going on top of Fishman now. Looks like that's going to be a freebie for him, although around the trees he goes. We'll see if he ends up living. Nope, the bear will claw his way to another kill, so 2 for nothing. By that, I mean 2 for 2, of course, Jenkins.
Does make sense.
But the age is still intact for Team Spirit, so they're not really going to scoff at this too much.
No, that curse was like could have been really cool because Yatoro got 13 Fury Swipe charges onto Saberlight in that fight, and so if he got a couple of hits off afterwards, maybe Saberlight just melts. But it did end up kind of griefing, where Saberlight just instantly chained away, and Yatoro got basically 1 hit on him. And so Saberlight was fine, able to come back in and finish off Mira.
Nice Pupil's Gift for Yatoro. Some juicy little HP for him. 15 strength. Not bad for an Ursa.
That's a nice one. That's such a good item on any Agir int hero that wants to be tanky.
Yep.
Kind of useless on every strength hero. Pretty much useless on strength.
Unless you really need mana.
If you're very desperate for mana, yeah.
Or if you want 1.3 armor.
That is
or whatever it is.
Very little. That would be less than a Ring of Protection, in my opinion.
But Yatoro, Aegis will expire on its own. But he has the S&Y. He's got the Blink Dagger now. The second S&Y we've seen this tournament, which is something I don't think we saw the entire DPC when we were covering NA/EU.
It's
very rare.
I think it's good. It's good against Tiny because it makes it so the Avalanche is not a permanent stun.
Yeah.
And then it's good against Bane because obviously the Nightmare defeats Grip.
Well, and it stacks additively with his other status resist as well, right? From the Enrage, as Stormstormer tried to go for the Avatos onto the Snapfire, but he has been resigned to his death. He knows that that was a huge mistake. Just standing there, AFK.
I don't think it stacks additively.
The status resist?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of insane.
I'm pretty confident it
Wouldn't
does,
it put him up
actually.
to 100%?
Yeah, you can get 100% status resist.
Oh no, it's 50%. I don't because.
All right, go looking on Liquipedia or on Dota Wiki.
Okay.
Just double check that.
Okay.
Maybe there's certain kinds that are additive. I don't know.
I think you're thinking of the damage reduction.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
Damage reduction does stack additively, which is too bad there's no item that gives damage reduction. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is a good thing. They stack multiplicatively.
He's actually okay. My mistake. He's actually going for an Aghanim Scepter, so the Enrage can use it while you're stunned. Has a lower cooldown as well, and he's probably going to get this second rush, which gives him that shard, which lets him cast Enrage.
How do you rate that eggs? Because I don't see Ursa's building it that much.
It's extremely underrated. I mean, I don't know what number it would be, but I think it's
tier.
Good.
Tier it.
What are the tiers?
S, A.
A tier. Mars Arena, Toronto Tokyo finds yet another kill for the side of Team Spirit, who are just rolling their way through this game number 1. Obviously, the score 11-20 doesn't really tell the whole story here. This has been domination from the start. Good jump in. Stormstormer is going to have to toss the bear away, but the Mortimer's Kiss is slowing him down. The Roar setting up some more kisses, and Yatoro finishes him off.
He was doing the illusion bait, and it actually worked. That never works. It's been so long since I've seen that one work, where you just run your main hero with one of the illusions in, just to make it look like you're being lazy, just leaving the illusions in mid, but then one of them was the real guy. That was nice.
I mean, I think the big reason that, like, when you rate Ags, it's all about the criteria, right? I rate them kind of in a vacuum. Like, how good are they if you just have it? Like, having to buy it does not feel good a lot of the time on Ursa.
Bane Ags would be S tier. But to get it on Bane is absolutely pathetic.
Which, it's kind of boring to make these tier lists when it's like, yeah, the hero can't buy it, but that's not fun.
No, it's not.
The Ags is cool.
I agree.
So I think the Enrage one is extremely good. I wouldn't say it's S tier, but...
Would you agree that Bane Ags is S tier? It summons the illusions and then lowers the cooldown to like 55 seconds?
I'd still say A.
Really?
Very good, though.
Oh, I love that Ags.
I mean, there's a lot of Ags that are like, really.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them are like must-haves. So
we have a smoke from Entity. This could be a last-ditch effort here. They need to find a good fight, and they need to prevent this second Roach from coming about. But we can see it's a bit of a late spawn, which I'm not sure who that even favors at this point. But depending on who gets what kill here in this potential fight, and Yatoro
He's got the Ags coming.
Yep, he's got his Ags coming, so he is going to be a tough cookie to kill. I mean, he can just enrage off the
Fiend's Grip.
So
Nightmare, yeah.
that is a huge counter.
It's on such a low cooldown, too. You could enrage off the Nightmare.
Oh my goodness, he actually dumps in without very little vision. Stormstormer stuck inside the arena and dropped down. 50 seconds, but does have buyback. And again, the fact that the Roche is not up will favor Entity, technically, right now.
Does mean that Spirit can take out these outer tier 2 towers. There's no tier 2 tower there. The mid tier 2. And actually, they're going to go down top. They want to go for a tier 3.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah. Ancient Granite Golem leading the way. Toro, we push back for the time being. Obviously, both teams have some ways to look inside the pit. The easier one is the Beastmaster, but you could put some Wolves there as well, so not going to be any surprise factors in terms of whether Roche is up or not. Do we have Beastmaster Shard yet? I feel like we were seeing this a lot in the DPC.
Yeah, he's got it.
So Dive Bomb, hilariously good.
It's so good.
Okay, Fishman going a little bit deep here. Oh, he gets caught out by the set Dive Bomb, and you can see Saberlight was trying to save his teammate, but he gets stunned shortly after Thunder God's Wrath, doing quite a bit of damage. A nice Timber Chain from Saberlight. On to Collapse, who does get off his roar, but he loses his life. So now Team Spirit on the run. Toby chasing, Toronto Tokyo just a BKB TP. And looks like the Fiend's Grip is on cooldown. Not able to cancel that one out. Yatoro. I think he'll be, in all likelihood, fine as Toby turns back into a regular human, which we know are not very scary. Unless they're wielding weapons of some kind, but it's just claws for him.
Yep.
Amira looks to be fine.
Oh, man. That feels bad. He guessed left. Mira went right.
So Team Spirit, they lose one,
Radiant's middle
and
tower
Roche
is
has
under
now
attack.
spawned. So it's really all about who wins the next, or maybe they don't need to. He takes it so fast that
Radiant's
it
middle
is going to be
tower
scouted,
is
though,
under
by the
attack.
Wolves. And Entity have to try to go for this.
Yeah,
Absolutely have to.
it feels like it. I mean,
But you got Maposhka on the other side, which is going to be really difficult.
for Spirit, I think they feel like Collapse is coming up soon enough.
Yep, okay, they scout him out, but here comes the initiation from Toronto Tokyo. Fishman is dead right off the bat as Yatoro
The cleat.
gets the Aegis, gets the Shard, and Toby's dead. Double kill for Yatoro, and a curse only onto one, into the Roar. Saberlight has not gotten to play his hero this game, that's for sure. Triple kill Yatoro.
And where's the creep waves at? They're not in a good spot.
And he's
So
consuming the Shard now.
yeah. So even more status resistance and damage reduction. Let's see what talents did he go for? He did not go for the status resistance talent, which I think that one's a lot worse anyway. Who needs more? You know, it's unnecessary.
What if it made it additive?
I think that does make it additive
Radiant's
That adds
middle
on top of
tower is
his...
because it adds on top of the spell.
Right.
But then
If it's
technically
it's additive if it's the same source.
Yeah.
If it's a different source, it's multiplicative.
Right. Just like Anti-Mage's spell shield. That's why he gets up to like 80% magic resistance or whatever when you get the
Yeah.
talent. That one's really OP.
Radiant's middle
All right,
tower
into the high ground, Team Spirit goes. Entity are going to have their entire team to try to defend this, so it'll be a tall order to say the least. Now that Yatoro has got that Shard and Aegis, he's going to get tossed back by Stormstormer. This is the one thing they can do, try to relocate him to the fountain.
Kite him and then toss him back into the fountain.
Yeah, they can try. He's going to get nightmared in the middle of the Earth Shock. Taking quite a bit of damage in there. He does have his Enrage. He's not going to use it, though. Actually, he does not have it. It's on cooldown right now, but Toronto Tokyo with the counter initiation. They're going to find one. It's just Fishman, though. It's going to cost him the Wyvern, who also buys back in the game. Collapse has to kind of redirect himself. Very low on HP, and Yatoro continuing to get kited here. Will finally pop his ult, focusing on Saberlight, but another Yule Scepter, which status resist does absolutely nothing against. But they do get Saberlight in the end, who does not have buyback, so it turns into a 5v4 with Team Spirit having the numbers. But you can see the Beastmaster quite low. So not sure if they want to go back in quite yet.
Dude, this is just insane kiting from Spirit. The supports have honestly been carrying really hard. Mura with the cookies and the scatter blast. Like he saved Collapse at
Radiant's middle
one hit away
tower
from dying, and then he saved Yatoro when Yatoro was 10%.
Yeah,
HP.
Mortimer's Kisses onto 2. There's the Winter's Curse. Maybe not the best stacking, but he is getting the Fury Swipe, so he can get some one-shot there onto the Tiny. Double kill Yatoro. Buyback's coming out. It is just the Zeus. Tiny does have his, but holding on to it for whatever reason right now. They get the ranged racks, and now the creeps might be able to get the melee themselves. No, the Wolves are trying to counteract this a bit now. Scatterblast into a couple more right clicks, so that's the second set of racks for Team Spirit. And they could go for megas. I think they're trying to bait this this buyback. You have to assume if you're Team Spirit that Tiny does not have it because he would have used it there. But it is relatively low now. So they can just wait. Zeus almost with Nimbus. By almost, I mean 1,300, so might not be able to get it by the end of this game.
Next Rax fight, he
Radiant
should have it. That's at least if you're Entity, you're like, all right, guys, we'll have Nimbus for the next one. And Spirit do look to be backing off. They have not got their tier 3 items. It's been 3 minutes since that mark has passed. I know a lot of people have been talking about value in getting those neutral items. There's some really impactful ones.
Yep. I mean, Blasterig pretty good against Ursa if they can get it.
Yeah, great against Lycan because it works
True.
on all of the summons as well. So something for the supports to hold.
Speaking of Lycan, Toby has AC. We got an Ags on the horizon for Saberlight if he can get to it, but he might find his way to the grave instead. And Missile Blade's going to hold him in place in Toronto, Tokyo. Really focusing on Zeus this game after missing a couple Mars Arenas earlier. And this is a huge win for Team
geez,
Spirit, and that is just it. GG's. A bit of a shellacking in game number 1. And it really just stemmed from the laning stage, it felt like. The Entity just kind of lost the lanes.
Yeah, that game didn't feel close at all, actually, after.
Go ahead, just what are you doing?
Your chair was spinning around there. It was
Nobody can see that. Okay?
They could have. It kept spinning.
Does it really look like we're standing and casting? You guys really think we're doing? There's no way I could handle that.
No,
honestly,
I know.
There's no illusion we're trying to break.
Yeah.
We can break that fourth wall. It's fine.
Yeah, but just the chair has a logo on it.
So that's true. Team Spirit, they take game 1 in pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the picks necessarily. It just felt like the lanes were a disaster.
I think it was kind of the picks. I mean,
okay.
I think Spirit's playing really well. I feel like they've just had a really good tournament so far. They're on point. They had a good tournament in Riyadh as well. But yeah, I don't know. Timber looked just awful.
That was bad.
They like flexed. They flexed their draft and did some weird stuff in the draft to get the Timber matchup, and then it lost, and he wasn't really able to play Dota after the laning stage. So I think they do go back to the drawing board for Entity on the draft.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with game number 2.